Radiant team ban.
Sure.
Dire team ban.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Epicenter Moscow Season 2 for your final game of the day. Toby 1, joined by the amazing gods. And we are casting something without me having my Windows menu bar. Give me a second and I'll fix that.
Dire team ban.
Okay, maybe I won't.
There we go.
Yeah, we're done. We're good. We got this. We got this. No issues. No issues at all. Clutch going up against IG. So Clutch gamers following in the footsteps of EG, and EG, the only opponents for Invictus Gaming so far, by banning out the Mag as well as the Death Prophet in the first two.
Okay. I mean, worked for EG. Clutch is probably like, what did EG do that worked so well against IG? And let's work off that. For IG, they ban out some of Clutch's hero. The offlane Omni's been a recurring theme. They like this like Omni troll, 5-man death ball mid-game lineups, but not going to be the case. No Boomback's Nyx. It's like his most played 4-position support. They'll go a different direction. I feel like Clutch maybe just need to try some new picks, new drafts, because they kind of got beat down pretty badly yesterday. Have yet to found any good results on any of the lands they've qualified for.
Is at that point, like, would you not try and just refine what they already had? Or do you actually feel like what they normally pick is weak?
I think you need to diversify more. It's tough because you have these set strats and picks that you just keep playing in your region and it works. They've been winning all these SEA qualifiers, but then it's very different going up against the likes of VP, the likes of IG, OG, Liquid, Secret, all the teams here. You can't just rely on your strats that beat SEA teams. You have to adapt more. That's why the teams you see winning these tournaments are the teams that adapt the best. Teams like EG will have these great low bracket runs. They'll change their picks. OG's the same thing. They'll change their picks up enough and respond to their opponents and get better results as a result.
Yeah, OG appears to be the real EG. At least they'll have to be for this tournament if they're going to catch up.
Yep.
As EG are the trendsetters for this tournament. Legion Commander, XXX, will have to find himself something new to play, as they have been running bo3 as that 4-position Night Stalker.
Yeah, I like it. It's a hero that probably plays the closest to the Riki they used to play. And I think bo3 heroes, if someone said Night Stalker, would be like, yeah, I think he'd be good at that hero.
I think we had that discussion yesterday, right? Like, you take out the Monkey King, you take out the Riki. What does bo3 now do, which brings the same level of presence that helps Invictus Gaming win DAC? Because we haven't seen that kind of presence from him in a while. That space creation for OP.
Yep.
At the same time, we also saw these two heroes picked up earlier this tournament for IG, and they failed horrendously because they got too passive in the lanes. Night Stalker had no effect whatsoever.
I wonder if we'll see his Earthspirit even return. That would still a hero that gets picked up from time to time, and something that could theoretically be viable. Afu had a great game on it for LGD Forever Young. So we
actually had OG played it earlier today as well in combination with Lone Druid.
Oh, yeah.
Found out that Geometric Grip with his ability actually works on Spirit Bear.
Oh, without the talent upgrade?
Yeah, it counts it as a non-hero unit.
That is actually some crazy synergy.
Yeah, they saved it a couple of times.
Yep.
I was having a fun debate over that one, if that should really be possible or not.
10 seconds remaining.
So Legion, we kind of saying Clutch Gamers, a weakness they had yesterday that we talked about in Game 1 was they didn't pressure the lanes enough, and then they picked Legion Game 2 and I think had a much more solid Game 2 draft against VP, so they're going to go with the Legion again, see how that works out, and versing a team that isn't going to perhaps pressure them as much as VP did.
10 seconds remaining.
Maybe that is where you look for IG to go. Something with a little bit more bite, a little bit more aggression early on.
Yeah, you got this CM, so everyone's going to be juiced up, ready to go, constant aura everywhere. Get heroes that can fight and dominate the lanes is typically what you want to do with a CM.
What's that mini hero? Oh, sorry, it was, I can't believe I already forgot it. It was EG's Earthshaker.
Oh yeah, against the Ember.
Doing it with the Crystal Maiden, and that was great up against, but it was more because it worked against any kind of melee.
Yeah.
But I know it was a point that Merlini made during the cast that Crystal Maiden just gives you just enough mana that you can actually spam out Totem.
Yeah, and you don't have to go for like a fast bottle. I think he skipped the bottle altogether even maybe that game. He had like a treads or fast phase. No, he went phase boots. He had like rushed the phase boots and just was tanking up.
Yeah, then he went finally into the Yule Scepter, and that gave him his the regeneration he was looking for.
Yeah, that was definitely a nice little build, and having the CMR in your team does mean you can cut some corners as far as having to buy some of those bottle type items that you'd otherwise have to get, and you don't have to with a CM.
Yeah, bo3 will be happy about that in this matchup because he'll have that synergy with the aura. As Clutch take out both Darkseer as well as Troll. Troll we've seen a hell of a lot of. Darkseer,
10
maybe
seconds
more of a
remaining.
nuisance in the lane than anything else.
Pretty good with the Night Stalker too, like a Darkseer Night
5
Stalker type
seconds
dual lane.
remaining.
Good to like just chuck an Iron Shell on a Night Stalker at nighttime and he can run around, being very effective.
I was about to ask, like, what's happening with the Bristleback when you got a Keeper of the Light in the field, and Coddle is kind of already being ripped apart by having a Night Stalker on the opposite side. Night versus Dark. Well, Dark side always wins. At least
You take that back, Toby.
At least in Dota too.
Okay.
10 seconds
Fair enough.
remaining.
It's meant to bring balance to the Dota.
You need a
Night
day.
Stalker does have the high ground when he flies.
There you go.
Maybe he's actually like Obi-Wan all along. He's Dark Obi-Wan.
Reserve time.
Yeah, now we've got next level.
When's Daywalker coming to Dota, you know? Keeper of the Light, like, isn't really the... He's not really the daytime Night Stalker.
I'm sorry, are you waiting for, like Blade just to walk through the door? Like, okay, what's
Cut
his
some
ability? I will
vampires up.
shower you in blood.
Yeah.
Like, he's the real spinner. So, like, instead of Blade Fury, you have Blade coming in. The Blade Fury. The real
that.
Blade Fury.
Oh, what's the actress, the vampire actress from the Underworld series?
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, get
Kate
her into
Beckinsale.
Dota, you know? We
10
could do the
seconds
female
remaining.
vampire / Lycan Hunter, because she's kind of like enemy of both clans.
She does
remaining.
kick ass. There
Yeah.
is no doubt about Kate Beckinsale.
That series is such a like it's my favorite go-to trashy movie to watch on airplanes. Like when that new Underworld movie come out, I'm like, I know what I'm watching my next plane.
What's your biggest trash movie? Like the movie you hate the most, but you can't stop liking it when you watch it.
I don't know. That's a tough one. Do you have one?
I can insult every person who's ever read the book. Is Aragon.
Dire
Okay,
team
I
pick.
never saw that.
It was the worst movie ever, but I
Okay.
can't help but like it.
Yeah. Oh,
Clockwork.
what bad movies I've liked. I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. Think about it. Come back.
Okay.
Clockwork pickup from IG, so XXS will have his initiator unless
10
they're gonna
seconds remaining.
run Clockwork 4, Night Stalker 3.
Clock Shadow Fiend. That's been a
5
go-to
seconds
duo. If
remaining.
you want to take a page from the VP book from yesterday. I mean, it's not really their playbook.
IG did it as well.
Okay.
Could
be good.
Actually, was IG that did it? Yeah, I think it was IG that did it earlier today.
Against EG.
Yeah. And yeah, it was the only way they could have more advantage for OP against Sumail. So they should rinse and repeat here. And then it was a support Clockwork.
And you can do the clock as an
10
offlane or
seconds
support is the nice thing too with that. You don't
I
have
wonder
to.
if they do the same pattern. Like Molina even got it down.
5
It's like
seconds
they got it all
remaining.
practiced out where they attack the northern cog and then they move clockwise
Yeah,
around the cogs.
I think
just
that's
as
what
this-
every team does from what I've
Reserve
seen.
time.
a base pattern.
Yep. Every time I'm in a pub game and there's a clock SF, it's always like hit the north one first. It's just like an easy one to say, like the direct north one with the way the little new shape around you works out. It's no longer that perfect square. So I think most teams go north and then clockwise.
I'm kind of surprised that like if IG were really looking to do that they're thinking about this pickup. The Juggernaut doesn't really change as much. Yeah, but they do still take the time and pick up the inevitable pickup, which is the SF.
Nothing crazy about this duo. And I guess the question mark is clock support or core? Is Night Stalker offlane or support?
It's going to be Bobica, because Bobica did it earlier as well, the Clockwork.
Okay.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
Was there the
it's
Night
most
Stalker in that
obvious.
game too, though? Or
I don't remember about the
5
Night Stalker in the
seconds
game.
remaining.
I would look it up, but I am
Okay.
your observer for today. So I
Oh,
cannot-
no, I'm the one with the little,
yeah,
little
you've
tablet, you know?
you've got the power.
Radiant team back.
Vengeful Spirit being the band. Oh, please tell me we get ourselves a Juggernaut mid and then Enigma offlane.
Yeah, what's the Bird? Yeah, Birding played a lot of Venge going back to like that DAC era.
He also played it early today. They ran the Venge and the SF together,
Okay.
so it looks like they're just
10 seconds
blocking the pick
remaining.
out. But it was such a
They didn't do
5
well that game though. They
seconds
lost, right?
remaining.
Yeah, they
yeah.
lost both games.
They didn't lose as badly as they did in game 1, but in game 2, it ended up
Reserve
being they
time.
just fell apart, and then Burning started doing. He was playing his VS like he was an anti-mage. Was the best way to
Yeah.
describe
So
it.
they had Tide offlane that game. Teamfight Hero and
That was to answer their game 1 draft, which had no team fight whatsoever.
what do you want to draft for a carry then this game? The Weaver saying Burning plays a lot. There's a lot of lockdown. Pretty annoying to play Weaver against Coddle or Shaman.
Mhm.
Even Legion, you've got lockdown there. So I'm not sold on the Weaver
Radiant
pick.
team pick.
Well, of course, Lifestealer might be the better option. Get that magic immunity. Doesn't match up great against Jug, but at least against the supports you do all right.
Be concerned if Legion just holds him there, though.
Yep. If you get the rage off, you're okay.
10 seconds
But
remaining.
otherwise, perhaps not. Other cores would be...
5 seconds remaining.
Ursa Warrior.
If you have any fighters, it would be the Ursa Warrior.
Fighter.
Team pick.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good against Jug. He's trying to Omni Slash, you just pop your ult through it. You can get rid of the mana leak if you go in and you get mana leak. You don't have to worry too much. You can rage that off as well. Same for the blinding light. So yeah, I like this pick. Gives them just really strong lanes. It really feels like a recurring theme that this new patch is all about having strong lanes. Not necessarily getting kills, but if you have lane matchup advantages and you just out-farm, out-CS your opponents, you're going to be better off.
I'm wondering though if they have enough D-push. Like with Mass Serpent Wards pushing, you're going to lose your creep waves pretty early on. Now you get an OD up for clutch.
Okay.
They got some good control. Like you can just keep that Ursa Warrior inside imprisonment or hexed up or whatever.
They don't have good D-push, but I think the idea is they don't want to be in a position where they need to D-push. You go on the aggressive, you jump the clockwork, jump in with the clockwork, stop the wards getting dropped. Shadow Shaman, Coddle are very bad against the clockwork. And you're going to be the one setting the tempo, winning. If you win the lanes, you don't have to worry about having D-push because you never have to defend towers. You're the ones being the aggressors. We'll see how that works for them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Clutch have themselves pretty stable lanes across the board. OD is a nice setup for Clutch running into the mid for Shaman and Coddle to do their work. Maybe not so much Coddle, but
10 seconds remaining.
Shaman definitely.
5 seconds
Open for all out
remaining.
brawls. Very single target from Invictus Gaming, apart from the Shadow Fiend.
We'll see how they deal with the SF having that mid lane matchup advantage because he's going to have all that extra damage if they go for any kind of like level 1 smoke ganks. Being talked about as one of the solutions, just gank him, take away the souls as early as possible. May have to dual lane for the matchup or something, but we'll see how that works as we get ourselves into the game.
The drumroll screen. And the real winners. It's Invictus Gaming.
Yeah.
China has bankrolled them to a 2-3-2-9 lead over 1-4-0-7.
Yeah, not
They
bad.
have, in the words of Day 9, the better dragon penis. It's really hard to forget that now he said that. It's so... It looks just like it.
Prepare
Like,
for
if you could
battle.
imagine it.
I'm not really. I mean, when you see them actually, like in that animation, they're still, but when you see them in game, they have the swiveling things at the top. I'm not seeing dragon penises anymore.
I'm not going to describe what actually makes it a dragon penis on this, so we'll move on. Keeper of the Light gets scattered out. He didn't actually see up the hill when Burning planted down the Observer Ward, so Fly Solo may be unawares of what's happened there.
How many souls ISF got? He's at 9 denies, so you get 3 per cogs. Normally you go to lane with, I want to say 15 is like the standard. Sometimes we see 12. Sometimes 18 even if you really want to stick around in the fountain a long time.
It is actually XXS as well.
Okay.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, I felt like the Night Stalker as an offlane isn't particularly strong. And look at this, Clutch Gamers. This is actually a great way to punish this. You know that your opponent's sitting in fountain, so they've used this opportunity to invade. They are ready, set up, postured to contest this bounty rune.
They must have watched the EG game because EG did almost exactly the same thing.
Okay.
The difference is EG had the Tree and Protector sitting in this box, and they cut in through this direction. But IG didn't go for the rune at all. In fact, OP just let it go, and it was XSS that stole the Dire rune. But in this case, it will be 3 runes going the way of CG.
Yeah, that's fine. You give up those bounty runes if you have to. You're much better off making sure you don't get killed there. I mean, SF cannot die at all costs. He's got all those souls. Clockwork doesn't want to waste time fighting when he needs to go back to the top lane to do his little cogs trick. He pulls the wave in, make sure he gets his XP. So, yeah, you're better off just giving that one up. And yeah, SF only gets the 12 Necromastery. Could have perhaps gotten the full 15 if he wanted to. If you know you're not getting that bounty rune, you're better off just using the cogs once more. But ultimately, not the end of the world for him.
24 souls, you'll always be happy. Rappy? Trying to think like how good of a lane he's going to have. Nightstalker with boots only probably won't be able to zone him out. But with the help of the Crystal Maiden, depending on your timing and press the attack, there is kill potential from this IG safe lane.
Yeah. It's also a question of, do you want to try and fully tri-lane to zone him out, or do you just want to CM jungle to get your Arcane Aura up as early as possible? If you think that Burning's going to farm alright, and I think he does because he's got the Fury swipes against Legion. yeah, Legion may get some XP. You just be content with the fact that Q's jungling, getting your team the aura, and then as Burning gets levels and if a few items like his phase boots up, Legion is going to get forced back to the jungle or forced out of the lane.
I was going to say I'm very disappointed with the cosmetics of Rappy. No Legion Arcana. It's very, very bare. I don't think even the OD has the... Oh no, he has the Shard Immortal.
She's got the horse helmet though. I'm liking the horse helmet.
It just doesn't look the same without the big flags, but yeah, the horse helmet does look good.
I can't really see cosmetics because I'm like the lowest possible settings on my tablet.
Don't worry, I got your back on that one.
Used to stuff looking very blocky.
Look at that face. That's a face a mother could easily love. Just the way he's like leaning forward. Is this the Superman? This looks like the Superman right here. The way he just leans into it.
He's got more style than that now.
More style than Superman?
Don't downplay.
Okay, maybe like Christopher Reeve Superman, not like Man of Steel Superman.
No, that's better.
Yeah.
I don't want to see like no Batman versus Superman.
Say no Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Top lane, Shackles onto XXS. You do have the spin available. I don't think it's going to be enough damage to get the kill. So harass him out the lane to start with. And it's the same thing happening to Rappy.
Let's expand a bit. Q using one Frostbite has the clarity, so he can always fall back in the jungle and still have the mana to support this.
Well, they're going to go again, this time with the Shackles and the spin. Boombox are waiting for the perfect opportunity, and the damage will be enough. Gabby has to break free of the cogs, and he will be able to do so. Burnt up a little bit, dropping very low. And Boombox, I think he was trying to back up to give Gabby enough space to get level 2, and then healing.
That's almost okay for Clock, though. It's always one of those things where if you die and your opponents have to use a lot of spells, mana, and regen to kill you, it's okay. It's always a little like, oh, it's a first blood, though, so it is a much bigger gold bounty for Clutch to get. But considering he immediately TPs back in, gets some free XP and farm, doesn't get the Rocket Flare at level 2 to cancel the Jug's clarity, which I think would have been a nicer option. But either way, XXX can now contest this lane because of that death.
Yeah. Because he does have that level 2, Boombox has to just give a little bit more space. Luminate looks like it just missed out on Q underneath that bottom tier 1 tower. Quick Frostbite on the Legion Commander. She'll break free with just a quick pop of the Courage.
Poor OD in the mid lane. Not going to be able to get much farm against the SF and his souls. And that's only going to get harder as the SF gets the raises into the mix as well.
Is this the battle of the support clarity cancelling? the king and queen of mana, or I should say the grandpa as well as the young maiden of mana.
Yeah, I don't think you... Coddle wishes CM was her queen. His queen. That's not something that CM's all about. But
Keeper of the Light looks pretty good for his age. Not gonna lie.
That's true. He's aged well.
XXS, this is going to be it again. Shackles to start with, Shadow Shaman. He's actually holding on to his second levels for the moment. He hasn't leveled anything up. Aether Shock will be committed. XXS is going to drop very low with one crit. It may have been enough, but the cogs are up and Shaman takes the burn.
He's holding his own just barely. Boots there helping get him away and survive through that one. He's looking all right.
But you're right, he's taking so much experience.
Look at his CS too. 10 CS, 7 denies against Jugs, 8-0. He is winning this offlane. That's where, again, those deaths on offlaners can sometimes be well worth it if your opponents have to chew through a lot of regen. A hero like a Jug using his entire mana pool and his Tangos to kill you is well worth it.
Fly Solo's in a little bit of trouble too, but there's not enough mana for another Void, plus it being on cooldown. Means the Keeper of the Light must back up. Rappy tries to create space of his own. OD taking some decent damage in mid. Those are just OP Shadow Razors.
18 CS, 21 denies. Just SF things, and let's be careful. SF doesn't have mana for Razors right now, but could just threaten to right-click down the OD.
OD's still, like, he's still struggling. Trying to build into this bottle of his. 14-7. It's not bad, but, like, all those denies are just going to go the way of the SF. And he's only just a little bit ahead in the levels.
This is not an easy matchup for him, and SF, once his bottle comes out, assuming he goes for that, is going to be having a very good time with the mana to support the raise spam.
bo3 really wants to try and find this kill against Rappy. There's no point him just expending a Void, because he's got no follow-up to it at the moment. But this may be a better opportunity. Q finds Fly Solo. Fly Solo going to try to deny himself up. The Ancients won't happen in time. bo3 will reach him and barely hit the Void before the Ancients punch into him.
All three lanes being won and really dominated by IG. Mid and bottom lane being crushed. Top lane not being crushed by the Clockwork, but he's handily winning it still. He's getting farm, he's getting a lot of experience, and it just feels like Clutch gamers haven't really committed to winning any one lane. When you're versing this SF with Souls, you have to say, all right, if we're not going to win that lane, make sure we win the other lanes.
Press the attack, Rappy. Press the... He doesn't have mana for it. He's too short.
Oh.
And the Frostbite from Q just holds him in position.
Yeah. I mean, this tri-lane bottom from IG just means this Legion Coddle dual lane does nothing, and Clockwork loves having a 1v2 matchup, so I feel like Clutch needed to just tri-lane top or do a dual lane mid. They had to make sure they won at least one of the three lanes. Instead, they find themselves losing all three.
And stem the bleeding. So all they can really do for the moment.
Coddle's going mid just to plant some wards. Don't really see him finding a kill here all too easily unless OD does a fantastic job baiting. Imprisoned
into a Lunate just reveals your position.
Some chip harass, that's really about it.
And then instantly bo3 appears in mid, having his phase boost available already, going after the OD, the Razors, the long range one's going to hit bo3. There's not enough damage from the Raze to ensure a kill onto the OD.
Might be getting pretty low, but we're at that stage where Shrines kick in.
Goodbye top lane. Shackles, spin, XSS knows he cannot slow him down. He needs the distance to get the cogs.
Yeah, actually,
okay.
Without an Omni Slash, they don't have the damage for it, and having that early raindrops just means you're blocking enough with the Ether Shock damage, and yeah, they can't kill him.
Oh, it's gonna be really deep. Like he's got 960 HP on that Clockwork.
Oh, OD. Oh, he runs to the north, realizes he can't go back to mid lane.
Coming into the safety of his Shaman. I say safety. The Shaman doesn't have enough. He only just got enough mana for Shackles.
Every single lane, problems mounting for Clutch gamers. XSS is about to find his hook shot as well on Clockwork. He hits level 6 already, 6.5 minutes in.
And with the movement up in the game. With the movement up from the Night Stalker, this should be a guaranteed kill. Crystal Bane's going to come in. The Shackles are going to work. bo3 will free him out with that Void. XSS having to back himself out, but Battery Assault gets himself into a good line. Hook shot up, hits the Juggernaut, and they need to keep him permanently stunned. They're able to do so thanks to the Frostbite, while bo3 hunted down Boombucks all the way underneath the Tier 1 tower.
Well, hitting that fast level 6 before anyone outside of the mid laners means Clockwork comes online, makes some big plays happen, and IG getting active with their supports, using their shrines now in efficient fashion with all three heroes up top. SF used the one around the mid lane earlier as well to just maintain his dominance over his lane. 36 denies, 53 last hits.
That's against the 24-8 of the OD. You want dominance, this is dominance.
And now bottom lane, they may be finding a kill on Rappy if he's not careful.
Oh, bo3 is going to start off with a silence, making sure there is no way to suppress the attack free. Now, able to do so. Movement speed, the wings clip him a little bit. Where's that extra Void? And there it is. Actually, it's Burning's Paw Swipe that will do the work in combination with the Void. And the supports, just a CG smoking up. They smoked up to come to the bottom lane to do something here.
And their supports have just done nothing compared to what we've seen out of IGs. The rotations from Night Stalker around mid to all the way to top with the CM.
The Observer Ward's going to fall.
Okay, take that. But I think even more than the supports is the offlanes. This Clock dominated the lane while Rappy is doing okay. Like, I don't think Rappy's gotten nothing out of this lane. He's done all right, but you expect more. He is going to find a kill on Burning if he can get the damage out without the Enrage. Using the Enrage for the kill there ends up costing Burning.
Yeah, he's able to do that while XSS just moves in behind the OD in the mid lane. OD's only trade-off was the fact he managed to bottle up the double damage route and not give that one over to OP, but that was a pretty close-range hook shot by the looks of it into the OD.
Now this is the stage where IG can start getting towers. They've got the full souls on SF, 36 with 72 bonus damage, and defending against this man is going to be very difficult. They'll rotate the Clockwork in, or at least have him start roaming around while the Night Stalker takes a lane during daytime. This is kind of what you want to see. Like, Night Stalker does his early game thing with the first nighttime, then this 8 to 12 minute mark is where he gets the alone time.
Gabby, I don't know if you really want to stick around here. The Cogs are going to trap him in. You get the Frostbite available from Q. Can't actually reach him. The Cogs are keeping him down on the low ground. Now they can reach him. Hold the Juggernaut in position. With the extra silence, there was no way for Gabby to hope for some kind of miraculous escape through Omni Slash. It would have been a waste as well. So Juggernaut will fall on the safe lane.
One of the most dominant clock performances we've seen at this tournament, and this is a big reason why this hero is kind of first pick, first ban for a lot of teams. Perhaps a bit surprising that IG managed to snag it in the second stage.
It's too enabling for OP as well.
Yeah.
Like OP sitting at 4.5k net worth. The nearest to him on the dire side is 2.7k, and that's the Juggernaut. Just to tell you, like, it's not just the CS that's going wrong, it's all of the income which Clutch is just desperately trying to find.
Yeah, all three top net worth heroes on the IG side, at least momentarily there, as OD does his best to try and catch up. Still a long way to go for these heroes.
All right, XSS, you feel? Yep, you feel it. He'll go straight in. Cannot imprison, he just used it to farm the lane up, so Armel trapped, and the Razors from OP will find the kill.
Feels good. Level 11 Shadow Fiend.
And now Burning's going to hunt bottom lane. Oh, Rappy's got the movement speed with the face boots. He's away.
What Burning wants to do as far as getting any early Roches go, has got the Morbid Mask, who can really join up with his team anytime he wants to take a Roche. SF can even offer a point in the presence of the Dark Lord if he wants to, but probably see Burning just keep farming towards that Blink Dagger. There's no rush to take Roshan at this point.
May want to wait out the next minute and a half, so nighttime will appear for IG.
Yep. Absolutely.
That way CG will be a little bit more cautious.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see them able to contest it at any stage soon because they are so under-farmed. Like, OD just wants to farm his way back in this game. Legion can't really do a whole lot. Like, you duel someone, there's no good follow-up damage. Jug's kind of under-farmed too, so all their cores are really struggling here, but supports are going to try and make some moves to mend that. Level 6 Shadow Shaman smoked up with Coddle once again. It's just a very awkward duo to be smoking, but they really want to try and do this around the duel so they can get some kills. Problem is, Ursa smelt trouble. He's TP'd out. There's no one in this bottom lane to gank.
What a great time. Nighttime hits, and, well, through the power of darkness.
Yep.
And he just jumps inside of Roshan.
It's that kind of fear factor where it's so hard to get vision at this stage. For Clutch gamers, wards give you such tiny little fragments of vision on the map even, and Clutch do what they can. They're making the trade at bottom lane. This was really the only move available to them. There's no way you can contest a Roche when your opponents have such a vision advantage and level farm advantage as well. So getting a tower is unfortunately all they're going to get.
Yep. Well, at least it's something in return, as opposed to absolutely nothing. As hook shot, fly solo, blinding light will give him just a little bit of space. He's trying to cut through his own cock, kept missing on it, and Burning underneath the actually, yeah, they're just going to duel him up. Hold him underneath the shrine. Bobica flying in through the back line. Still 5 heroes here. XS wants to go back in. A quick Omni Slash. Bobica, and he's the one that copped the brunt of that. The Illuminate also connecting into the Crystal Maiden. They're all just so low. The Cogs pushing back CG, but so does the Blinding Light. XS back into the middle of CG, but Armel, he got pushed down. Still in range to let the imprisonment go. XS, no! He doesn't get denied up to the Alpha Force, but someone must free the OD. And the Keeper of the Light is going to call him out. That's the way to pull him out of a cogged position.
Great fight from Clutch. They punished the aggression on that hook shot in. It works if you're going to fight around that shrine, you've got to bring 4 or 5 heroes. The SF was top lane farming. Once the fight broke out, he TP's mid, but that T1 is just a little bit too far away from the shrine, so just the numbers going in Clutch Gamers' favor, and they punish IG getting just a little bit too cocky there.
It's a good fight for him. Advantage in gold as well as experience, moves a little bit closer back towards Clutch. But of course that's one fight. Bobica flies up, gets the extra vision of the Shadow Shaman, a quick hook shot in. Then XXS is instantly able to get rid of that momentum that CG were gaining around their own shrine.
Support and helping free up some time to farm. Rappy's looking for that Blink Dagger on his Legion Commander. Anytime he can get, they'll probably start making some smoke moves around that Blink, although they have been chewing through their smokes pretty fast here, so I imagine they only have like maybe 1 smoke left on this dire side at best. They will have to be somewhat conservative with how they look to use that one.
So many Blink Daggers arriving shortly. Burning's pretty close to his. TP coming in from the Coddle. Boombox going to start first with the Hex into the Shackles. Burning moving forward, but they got friends. It's Bobica, but Boombox trying to hold Burning next to the tower. The tower's pretty much dead. They can deny it up. Okay, OD, maybe not the greatest TP in ever. Gets burned up by the Cogs, but still, plenty more mana where that comes from when you got 4 points up in your aura. And XSS, dueled up, controlled up, and more winner damage going the way of Rappy. They do lose the tier 1 tower. It was not denied, but it's CG who find the kill.
Yeah, CG just doing a good job recognizing when SF is elsewhere on the map. Often SF is showing himself farming earlier at top lane, that time at bottom, and they say, look, let's take this fight. There's at most 4 heroes here. We can kite this Ursa all right with the OD Astral, and they're holding their own when they're seeing these fights with SF not involved. He's 8k net worth almost. This SF is miles ahead of everyone on farm. IG is still looking fine, but if you're not having the SF at those fights, IG cannot play as aggressive as they are.
All that wonderful net worth, and it's just not there. Instead, OP is going to find at least the pressure on the bot lane to force CG away, and IG are trying to capitalize on this. They're pushing forward as 4, looking for the opening on CG. Rappy has already started his TP down. And this is Blink Dagger Legion Commander, but doesn't have a real SF to go on instead. There's Boombox and Gabby. They're the ones to be caught out. bo3 straight up gets the Hex and Silence, just trying to keep Shadow Shaman controlled as much as they can. TP's coming in from the Keeper of the Light. He may be regretting this, or maybe he doesn't. The Blinding Light pushes them away as Gabby isolated. He wants to Omni Slash. He needs to get a little bit further away and then isolate XSS, but it won't happen. The Clockwork will find the kill. Connor will die underneath the tier 2 tower. And Legion and OD, this time it's CG's turn not to have their cause there.
Yeah. The Jug, Blade Furying,
and goodbye, Rappy.
The camp meant... Oh, get away.
Started with Silence instead of Void, so there was no damage to cancel the Blink Dagger.
Well, TP out of bottom. Armel will survive, but yeah, the Jug using the Blade Fury on the Ancients there meant he didn't have a way to just Blade Fury and run away, because that was a IG favored exchange with the smoke initiation. They had such great vision around that area, and well, off of that, IG now will group up around their Shadow Fiend. They're kind of ready to go, it looks like. Let's play around our most farmed hero and take some objectives.
bo3's going in pretty deep. They've already got a really nice defensive Observer Ward, so allow them to scout out for a couple of kills previously.
Is he going to go for this? He's going to catch Fly Solo here. They now know he's there off because of that blast, but doesn't have any friends to go with him.
Especially when all his friends are TPing out.
Yeah, looks like they want to fight top. Clockwork was already up there setting up for an initiation. One thing. bo3 diving mid lane.
Okay. Under the tier 2 tower.
Rappy was mid dual cast when he got fogged there, very close to catching the Night Stalker.
This will leave. But he still feels like he can find an opportunity thanks to the Observe Ward. I don't know if that actually was able to see the 4-man smoke.
They saw some of them smoke for sure.
At least saw the movement. Yep. And CG's coming over, and it's everybody backing up. Perfect time to fight. It's 3 minutes until nighttime will begin, and darkness is down for about 100 seconds.
Yeah, good timing to get the ward down. They're set up, but they're set up with 2 deep wards here, but problem is IG are hiding behind their towers.
IG also scanned to confirm, and they did get a red ping on their scans. They know the CG were here. Tower will be pressured, and IG will not contest.
Disciplined play where they're willing to forego defending this tower, so you can have this. Now with the Glyph being used and the smoke revealing all the heroes, it looks like they will come in, but theoretically they could just let that tower go, make sure they don't take a poor fight during the daytime, and just pick and choose their battles around the SF getting his BKB perhaps, which is going to be his first main item.
Wondering if CG should have really backed up then. Like that tower looked pretty ripe for the taking. Whoa! Okay, goodbye, Keeper of the Light.
I'm with you. I thought they were going to get it, which is why I was like, yeah, IG weren't really defending it. I think CG just got a little antsy, maybe thought IG were smoking to initiate on them. And if like Clockwork gets a nice hook, Ursa blinks in, you can very quickly lose 1 or 2 heroes. Like Legion, you don't want to, once Legion shows himself, it's very hard to keep pushing because he needs to be in fog and have that threat of initiation. If you can hookshot onto the Legion, you're going to win the fight if you're IG.
Might have also been the vision game a little bit because they didn't see where the Ursa was. Ursa was busy farming up the stacks well away from the Dire Obs. Yeah. And there is still one Dire Observer that is now scouting out Burning, but they have no vision on the southern side of the map. Nowhere inside that Radiant jungle area.
For IG, it seems like they're just going to happily play at this slower pace, even though they're the ones ahead. They're just like, all right, you guys can do what you want. Use those smokes. They now probably know Clutch are almost out of smokes. It's been at least 3-4 early game smokes I've seen, so most are going to have like 1 smoke left, and IG approaching some big items with the BKB on SF, the Solar Crest early on the Night Stalker, the Halberd on the Night Stalker, even better. This is going to completely cripple the OD in these fights. As a ranged hero, this is your worst nightmare.
bo3 wants to fight. They have that Observer Ward. the one that wasn't dewarded out. The sentry was planted on the southern hill, not the northern one.
Solo will scout this with an Illuminate at least.
He gets to take 2 of the last hits.
Nice.
Look, should I? But then back under this Radiant Observer Ward. Scattered out the 4-man maneuver under smoke.
Tower is under attack.
So IG are very well aware that no one is on this bottom lane to defend.
IG have pretty much every item for their mid-game now. The Ursa's Basher is kind of close, but it's not like a key mid-game item. It's more about the Blink and the Morbid Mass. The one item they're missing for their mid-game is perhaps Aegis, you could argue. They want to maybe be pushing high ground around that, or at least pushing towers with it, but with the Halberd, with the BKB on SF, Force Staff on your Clockwork, they're incredibly strong in the team fight. OD is not going to be able to easily stack up the Arcane Orb insta because of the Halberd, and they've got a strong frontliner in the SF who isn't afraid of getting disabled because of his BKB. Does still need to respect the Legion Commander dual initiation though, which could prevent it coming out.
Oh, goodbye tier 2. Solo's trying to bring friends back to him now. Is he actually recalling anyone? Could have saved the OD a TP.
Yeah. Not value.
Battery wanted to come home sooner. Burning's just farming more and more.
Yeah, it's quite happy to use what space he can, and they seem apparent to just wait for the next Roshan. Nice ward. Will find Gabby here. Uh-oh.
They got to kill off that healing ward at the same time, able to do so. Straight into flight, bo3 not wanting to lose vision on Gabby. You do have to be careful, the Omnislide just there. A nice blinding light pushing the Clockwork down. Its hookshot is available as the Shackles. Boombox holds the Crystal Maiden in position underneath the Mass Serpent wards. So all five heroes coming in from CG to defend.
Yep, fighting around that Shrine. CG are like, let's do it. Let's bring everyone in, chain TP. Shrine was used, Serpent wards dropped, and once you see that in IG issues, you're like, let's get out of there. We can't really easily... SF's on the low ground, he's not really at the fight. If he's there when they're TPing in, he can BKB Requiem them, but he has to run up that hill, may get disabled, may get dueled, so IG just give it up, say, look, you guys have the better position, we're not going to even try and fight this one. You just use a couple of ultis, well, the Serpent wards, just to deal with the CM. And hey, Roche is back up. This is perhaps the bigger win for them.
Yeah, this one's Aegis and Cheese too. Observer ward. Going to get instantly dewarded. It's in range of the Sentry, and that's why bo3 is coming in. Uses the Quelling Blade. Roshan dead so quickly as bo3. Oh, Mana League. He's actually caught out here. They start up the duel. XSS has himself with a Battery Assault. He's got himself a hookshot available as well, and they all just go in. The OD stunned up perfectly. You will get the Death Requiem out, but you're losing too many big ones. Your two big cores. Your Shaman will follow, and XSS, Forstaff won't get him in range of the Keeper of the Light. But you won't care when there's 3 heroes down and all you lost was a Night Stalker. You still have Aegis and you still have Cheese.
Very well executed by IG around the Roche Pit. Controlling the vision very well. Night Stalker just in the right spot to make sure that he sees anyone coming in. Even though he ends up going down, he secures Aegis for his team and then sets them up for a great team fight. And this is Aegis and Cheese, so very tough to fight with all these extra lives now. These early game Cheeses can make a big difference when you have one at just 22 minutes in.
Especially a hero like an Ursa, you'd think you're bringing him down strict at the enrage, so you're having to pressure more and more, and then he could just burn the Cheese. Meanwhile, the SF, the hero which you really want to get the quick pop on.
Let's go the Aegis. Going to a very stat-heavy build now with a Butterfly queued up. Thinking about what's going to help him push high ground. Also, evasion against OD is fantastic. This is a hero that does not have any solutions for evasion, since MKB is not a part of this hero's itemization and build typically.
bo3, he goes up, he flies up quickly, Boombox gets the vision barely before he got up the stair line. And now allow bo3 to get shackled, dueled, held in position, and then brought down by Fly Solo.
It's another big move though. I mean, it's definitely a nice kill to get during nighttime of all times, so you slow down some of this IG momentum, but still definitely concerns about can you turn this into objectives and what IG is getting elsewhere.
They find Q.
The bash on Jug.
XSS, do you want to try and create a little bit of space looking towards Gabby? Gabby able to get that Omni-Slash off, all of it going in. Almost all of it into the Clockwork before he's finally brought down. Burning just opens up, nice hook shot in. Catching out the Legion Commander as OP just races his way through it. The Legion Commander, the TP out, won't happen in time. 3 heroes lost. Keeper the Light is on the run. His TP will be successful as OP and XSS decide to prioritize farming Ancients than chasing him.
Ooh. SF just got his perma double damage as well. He gets the level 20 talent. Gets an extra plus 72 damage from this.
He has plus 144 damage in total from his souls.
It's pretty crazy. You think like what this talent, like a Agi carry hero getting a plus 70 damage talent at level 20 is pretty absurd. But again, you've got to have the soul, so like it means you kill him, you actually take away that damage, so it's not permanent damage. But when you're ahead, it sounds amazing. He's got an eagle song, he's close to a butterfly. How do you actually kill him to get rid of these souls? And you got to do it twice because of this Aegis now.
I'm not even certain how you do it. Like once the evasion kicks in, then the OD's having a really difficult time. Meanwhile, the SF just swaggers around with 17 armor and 2,500 life.
It's going to come from a duel on him before he BKB, so then you can dump magic damage in him, as well as disable him after the duel, and also in the Omni Slash. I think without an Omni Slash, they're not killing this SF. And they got to buy out the Aegis. Like, they can't actually fight into his Aegis at all right now.
And then you got to hope Burning just doesn't blink in there with Enrage and tank up the Omni Slash too. You need to completely isolate him.
And this Basher means he can actually jump on the Jug and pretty reliably bash him and bring him down, as we saw in that mid lane, although that was Jug actually getting an Omni Slash off, but even so, it wasn't an optimal one. Bobica now, Vlad's up. I like this new Night Stalker, but we're not seeing these Ags rushes anymore. We're seeing these more effective, high-impact items. Like, the Vision's nice, but it's not essential. You get the Vision just through your third spell when you pop the Flying now. It's not as much as what your Ags gives you, but you get so much out of having a Halberd of Vlads for your team that IG aren't lacking in the Vision department. They even have Rocket Flare from Clockwork. They have other tools. They have Wards Up. Not going all in on the Vision game when you can buy other more useful items.
And we saw OG doing the same thing earlier today, but they also went for full-on Vision. They had both a Bat Rider and a Night Stalker working together. They got so much Vision in that game. Before Clockwork was the one trying to go against him. He couldn't see Jack.
Looks like IG won't be making any full-on high ground attempt even with the Aegis. They're going to work towards SF's Butterfly and just play the long game. They know they're getting further and further ahead, more and more farm. They're killing key heroes. They're getting good late game itemization. They got another BKB on Burning. And across the board, everyone is looking like very scary late game forces. Like your Night Stalkers getting items, your CMs doing all right. You've got, what's this, triple Solar Crest I'm looking at? Oh my gosh, they've
Crystal
gone...
Maiden,
XSS,
as well as, yeah, it's just a double for the moment.
Okay.
Looks like Bobica's looking to build into, what is that, Lotus now?
Yeah, Lotus.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of, yeah, double's not too out of the ordinary, but yeah, triple's like, whoa. I don't think I've ever seen a triple Solar Crest, although I'm sure it has happened because that item is insanely good, even post-nerf.
You'll take the defensive as well as the aggressive charges out in the fight.
You get like the double solar, like if you Solar Crest a hero that already has it, like they get the double effect and become incredibly tanky.
Not certain if that was exactly what IG wanted to do. They 4-man smoked when the SF was nearby but not close enough. But thanks to their aggressive Observer Ward, they see Gabby farming, so they understand exactly where he is. Night Stalker, Darkness Trigger, Gabby able to actually go up in the air. The hook shot missing from XSS, so he doesn't find that perfect initiation he wanted. So they push him forward, and the Cogs pushing back the rest of CG as the pause will come in. A quick spike, but Gabby looks completely isolated. There's a 4-star from Coddle. That can save him.
Yeah, and that's where the pause is like, oh my god. It's not like the Juggler's dead. When you've got those 4-stars, you need to find a way to use them. And Gabby should be able to get forced to the high ground here if executed correctly.
Is he in range? The Coddle's going to go up on top of the hill to reach Gabby.
He can run left. He may have to stay on the low. He may die, like if he does that. But you gotta save your Jug, you know.
I don't know if he can get close enough because the Cogs split it up.
Oh,
yeah,
OG did it.
Oh, that'll work.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Shaman dead. OP's going to burn his BKB. He's now down to how many seconds is that? I can't see because of the overlay. What's his BKB timing on the SF?
It's 7 seconds.
Okay.
You're not too worried about your BKB duration this game when you're ahead. You're happy just to use it to take pick-offs here and there. Don't really feel like he's going to get too hurt by having it on short duration. Even with like OD, Shaman, he's got evasion. He's got at least enough BKB duration to still be effective. And he's just so far ahead in farm that he's not entirely reliant on the BKB to stay alive.
Clutch now hiding inside their base. What have we got coming on the courier? Hello, Ring of Health.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. Just coming in for the Night Stalker.
Casual Ring of Health. Geez, that's some
Some decent regen.
Yeah, it's more just like you commit this career.
They're coming out for this. bo3 takes to the air, comes back in again, looks for the Keeper of the Light. Nice hook shot, catching out the Legion Commander and the OD. Both of them getting caught inside the cogs, and OD has to take the damage from OP. No choice about it, even with the blinding light. That's not enough to save him, and they're going in deeper. bo3 to the other side of the Illuminate. They trigger the Shrine. CG in full defense mode. Back behind their tower. It's a low Crystal Maiden. The Mass Serpent Water down. It's a good duel from Rappy. Able to find the kill, but loses life instantly after. He does not have buyback, and that SF is a beast. The damage output he is implementing. Night Stalker will go down. A Shaman comes back in for the cheeky shock.
Yeah, the ward's at least zoning the SF away. He's like, all right, I'll farm these wards, but he didn't really want to run past them, taking the damage. Perhaps he should have just run past to help the Night Stalker there, since he does have very high armor, would not have really been affected too much by them. But
he also got past the cheese from burning. He could have easily pressured that and saved his support.
I mean, the 2-for-2 trade, you kill the OD though, so it's like you get the more important hero if you're IG, but gold-wise, it did slightly favor Clutch. You get any 2-for-2 trade, even if you're killing supports for carries, those supports are going to get more gold because you're just so far behind. But still a scenario where the comeback road is long and painful and very hard to locate right now for Clutch gamers.
Roshan still down for the moment. His spawn time is a little bit further away. They're all going to keep their eyes pretty closely on this. IG would like to take it to get that advantage to go in. The Clockwork caught around that pit is going to go down. They commit the Omni to it. It really shows you how much you need to kill off the Clockwork, but Rappy does gain himself 537 gold for it.
Not bad, not bad.
Decent opening. Clockwork will or should respawn around the same time as Roshan does.
Yeah, that's... I think even if it was like a really fast Roche respawn, you couldn't even easily go in there 4v5 because of the night vision. And Night Stalker's got a minute 40 left of nighttime, and then he's got the ultimate too. But he's also pressed forward very aggressively by himself.
Yeah, but he just stole the Invis rune.
Oh, that's actually
so they don't have detection.
Yeah.
You quickly click through him, you're like, okay, so where's your detection? The Sentry Ward now comes out for Fly Solo, and he puts it down defensively next to the rune.
Hoping for Night Stalker just to get over aggressive there, and there's like those mid-game Invis runes when there's no Invis heroes that sometimes you're just not ready for it. You're not going to have sentries or dust prepped. You may have sentries for dewarding, but often not ready to go in your inventory.
Roshan's up. And IG can have a bit of a peek. They've got a perfect Obs and Sentry Ward right on top of the Dire Shrine.
Yeah, that's
so they know if CG mount a defense on Roshan.
Yep. And see TP's coming into that shrine, they can see everything, and looks like Gabby wants to...
Oh, the cogs. Rappy didn't get in range.
Oh, he missed the hookshot there.
He hookshotted
the siege creep, I think. I think he wasn't watching his hero. He just like moved his camera over to the Dire heroes to try to line it up, but didn't realize he had a creep in front of him.
A little bit problematic.
Probably just walking to Roche now instead. Clock can still be effective without that hook around the Roche pit, and also has hook back up in 18 seconds. Very short cooldown. But this Radiant Ward you mentioned can see absolutely everything. Dire Sentry misses the Obs Ward.
Just out of range. They might worry because the Sentry timed out. Actually, no, they were down the hill when that happened. So both of the Sentries are in a bad position. The smoke up, running forward. Clockwork does have his hook shot, goes straight inside the Legion Commander. The Cogs doesn't actually let him go. He got hexed up instead for the Requiem of Souls out from OP. All the damage will be negated, as well as basically impacted into the CG asses. Gabby on the run. They need a little bit more control on him. Shadow Shaman, he's a good controller as well, keeping the Shadow Fiend out of the fight, but still does not create enough space for his Juggernaut. The Ghost Scepter delays the inevitable. Cogs will hold him in position. 4 heroes down as bo3 stares down the OD. He's the best hero to do that, as he will steal your intelligence, but great fight for Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, really well played, and that's going to set them up to take Roshan. They don't really have the creep waves in the right spot, or they could have even just gone high ground without taking Roche. But considering the still low-ish respawn times in the creep wave positioning, they're just going to take the free Roche. Another Aegis, another cheese. And once again, it should be IG ready to take another fight following this. Even a double damage rune on OP.
It's not as though it's fast enough when you got Nurse a Warrior. And that's double the cheeses, so they give one over to the Night Stalker. And the other one into Ursa.
Pretty nice for Night Stalker. He's constantly running in first, getting low, losing his mana to the OD or to the mana leak, so She's also being able to replenish your mana can be pretty nice in the fight. May secure you an extra kill or two, so... From here, IG should have the tools to break high ground. It has been perhaps a slower closing of this game than what maybe would have expected considering their lead, but Clutch Gamers have been pretty resilient. Have got a BKB on OD, which gives them a bit better of a fighting chance, but we saw that fight, like this OD, once there's a BKB SF on you, you've got to run away.
Yep. And right now the BKB SF is always going to be on top of him, especially when Clock was able to get such initiations like XSS was able to do before. And his Aghanim Scepter is almost done. I'll be a lot more liberal with those hook shots.
Oh yeah, that's where the game gets fun for you. A little clockwork. And level 20 with that talent battery assault most likely. Get that extra damage. You don't need no magic resistance. This is a game where you're killing heroes. You're not dying.
Initiation in and just, yeah, murder. He still has the issue with like the 4-stars from CG.
Yeah, they're very good defensively, the way they're playing. They kept running while mana leak, not ideal, but...
Oh, they found the kill, but burning right behind him. So Gabby gets the victory.
He's caught in a ward trap. He may just die twice.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Do they go again? They've got the ward trap.
What's he doing up here by himself while the fight was happening on the other side? The quick push out. No, he BKB'd. Ghost Scepter. It'll protect the Shadow Shaman. Keeper of the Light, not so lucky.
He got distracted by the clock getting initiated on, so he tried to run bottom, but he was mana leaked, so he lost his entire mana pool. Got stunned up. I think he just lost track of where his hero was on the map and kind of got punished for it. Bit sloppy from IG there, losing the clock, losing the SF just for nothing, and may extend this game a bit and give Clutch a bit of an opening to just farm a little bit more, slowly, try and claw their way back a little bit.
I'm wondering what they really get from the farm. Like, OD is kind of the man I look towards next to the Juggernaut. Like, Juggernaut's getting closer towards his Monkey King bar, so he'll have some kind of counter to the evasion that Invictus Gaming is pumping out.
Yep. I mean, OD's got the shivers. He's thinking more defensive. It's an int item, so it will boost up your damage output somewhat, but you need that one armor item to deal with the Shadow Fiend and Ursa, and kite them around a little bit with that slow as well. Not really sure there's any better item for him to get at this point. As much as you want more damage output for an OD, this is a pretty standard build from him.
XXS, if anyone shows themselves up on top lane, you know he's going to come for him. And, okay, he gets Rappy as well as Boombucks. It's because he's got the Aghanim Scepter. Doesn't reach up to the Legion Commander. And already CG are bailing out. One to TP, one to be recalled.
Close. Not quite. See what the next moves are for IG. Haven't got that like Midas Gaming to really carry some of their supports to the late game, but even so, it's a 11k net worth Night Stalker. CM still farming alright. Probably a game where if you're Q, you're like, I should have got a Midas. What do I have this Solar Crest for? We're not pushing high ground.
Just all I gotta do is get level 20, right? Then I get my 120 gold per minute.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's where the game gets better.
Yeah.
Not
OP went for the extra extra attack range. He's all about bringing down those buildings from just outside base of CG.
That Shadow Rays damage keeps getting buffed more and more. Does have some potential in the late game, but against BKB OD, Jugblade Fury, it's less useful.
Oh, they're wrapping around all the way around the back. Publica doesn't have the perfect vision. He's Hunter the Knight is still on cooldown for 3 more seconds. The duel is out. They find the Ursa Warrior, the hook shot. It doesn't do enough work from XXS, and maybe now they can fight, but no, the BKB SF is in the neighborhood. Ursa will buy back into the game. Requiem, he'll fly out, killing off the Keeper of the Light. Not to mention Q's ulti and another hook shot. Cogs pushing him back. Gabby, nothing he can do but die and then think about expending that buyback.
It's still, I mean, it's still great for IG. They win that, they get 3 kills, but using a burning buyback, I think gold-wise they'll probably, yeah, they actually lose that fight in terms of the gold exchange, but...
I don't think you're going to care if you can take a Rax.
Yeah, exactly. Strategically, they find themselves in a position where they're going to either now take a Rax or force buyback, so the gold exchange is going to, yeah, it's going to be an IG favorite exchange when you factor in the buyback money being spent now.
Remember, they still have the double cheese too.
Yeah.
So while this is up, like, yeah, you don't have an Aegis the Immortal, but you've still got those perks from Roshan. And they're beating into the tower. They're fighting the backdoor regeneration. The creep wave will arrive now. So the backdoor regeneration will turn off. And now you see just how much damage they can do. Or maybe you'll have to wait. Fortification. Delaying Invictus Gaming. They've got 25 seconds until the Juggernaut is alive. I don't know if they can wait that long. Solo's doing the best. Fly Solo's doing the best he possibly can. Now Armel.
Get burning, doing some damage if possible. It's very annoying with the Mana Leak blinding light spam, but
they denied. OD denies a tower.
Okay. Fall back for the shrines. It looks like that's what they're going to be pinging. Maximize their income for now and come back for those racks another day, perhaps after their next successful team fight. But Burning will be playing without buyback. Definitely something he has to be wary of.
It's like Gabby's trying to force the bottom lane out as quickly as they possibly can. Yeah, you've lost one shrine, the big one too, right next to Roshan. And Invictus Gaming, they'll smoke up in the mid lane, looking for that defense if CG are trying to do it. In fact, it's no. The OD's going to force an Invis Rune. They're right on top of him. A straight up Abyssal Blade, a hook shot to seal the deal. 80 seconds without the OD. Buyback is available, but you do not want to have to expend that money. OD only just got himself up into the second net worth.
Wow. They may just have to let this lane go. They will delay it and be very annoying.
Oh, the push. They forced off him forward. And SF, protected by his immunity of the BKB in the backlines. XSS forced after away. The OD ulti. It'll hit decently hard, but not hard enough. Requiem Assaults out from the SF. Boombox will try and control him up a little bit with both the blinding light and the shackle is going to go to work. SF, he has the cheese available. Back towards the tier 4 towers. Actually doesn't trigger the cheese. Realizing he was dead.
Was he running at the tier 4s there? I don't know.
Yeah, he was running at the tier 4 towers.
Interesting.
I think he was trying to create space for his retreating teammates.
Yeah, I guess so. It looked like he was like almost lagging in some ways. But yeah, even if he cheeses there, there's 4 heroes on him. They'll disable him. They'll bring him down. So I guess he was just trying to, like you say, create some extra space. But suddenly, Ursa has no buyback. SF may need to use his buyback. If you're Clutch Gamers, you're in a position where game suddenly gets a lot more winnable. They are playing without some key ultis though, and I think that's where they don't want to press their luck too much with this push.
Yeah. Well, the only way this really works is if you can get a proper duel off. And actually, no, the installment from OD is way too low now. So you need to have the Omni Slash to work with.
No ulti for either of their big carries to deal damage. No Omni, no Sanity Eclipse. So they'll just take these out of towers. Not even try and force a buyback mid, knowing that if they get jumped by like an Ursa Blink and SF buys back, they're going to just crumble.
It's good money though. It's real good money. That's the second diffuser blade. Gabby had to buy this thing up. And he's closing in on having the Monkey King bar.
Probably want to start buying some of these pieces. All this evasion, the Solar Crest, very, very annoying. The Butterfly, of course, as well. And the
smack spawn time. CG, unlucky.
Yep. Not what they were hoping for, but IG will catch a break there as
they're going to smoke and go for a kill.
Ooh. Oh, Radiant Scan though. Well played.
And they walk right underneath it. Perfect mind games there from IG. The Observer Ward from CG is what gave them the confidence to gank into this jungle.
Yep.
They won't find anybody. They really wanted to get that kill. Boombox wants levels. If you can reach that level 20, get the +4 wards, combining up with the Aghanims upgrade, he's also itching towards.
I wonder if he's going to... the Shackle duration's really nice. I'm not sure. I think this game, though, is getting bursted and stunned too easily, so maybe, yeah, the wards is going to be better. The wards are actually being placed really well in these fights, do a lot of damage. Now Dire Scan, we see another successful scan. Spots out IG at that Roche pick. Clutch Gamers don't know if and when Roche is respawning.
And they may think he's up already. Invictus Gaming just move up to where the shrine formerly used to be. Leave an Observer Ward behind. Boombox will walk right over the top of it. Roshan's still a good, like, minute and a half and a bit away from spawning. So both sides are having to wait for this.
And IG are happy about that because it's daytime. They'd rather try and take that Roche around night. They do have the Darkness, which could reduce that daytime. So with that 50-second duration, they'll probably use that in about half a minute.
OP's going to be a lot happier in the next fight. Monkey King Fire is now completed for him. Ursa has also finished up a fresh Diffuser Blade for this engagement. And they 5-man smoke up. The Observer Ward, it sees Rappy moving. The Observer and Sentry won't help Clutch at all. Not while IG go onto the cover of smoke. Fly Solo, gonna break it, but his back gets snapped by Burning. The Abyssal Blade control is just too good. The Mass Serpent wards are down, but this just becomes food for Invictus Gaming. There's no buyback for the Shaman anyway. He's been continuously spending his money trying to work his way towards the Aghanim Scepter.
His 4-star was on cooldown there. It was kind of interesting. I guess he just used it to maneuver around, and it was up like a second after he died, so didn't quite have it up to get away from the clockwork. And IG punish, that's 2 dead with Coddle also getting caught out.
And they'll come into the mid lane. Push the creep wave in through the top. Fortification is available from Clutch. They are not going to burn it for the mid racks.
I feel like they can get a second lane here. We'll see how conservative IG are going to be about this, but 5v3, this is a good time to go. But they're going to play it safe, go for Roshan. I feel it's just that, it's safe. They don't need to do this. They also don't know the buyback status, so perhaps they're just playing around that info that we have that they do not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll play it safe. Aegis and Cheese, they probably know this is close to game secured at that point.
CG really have to get rid of that observer ward. So difficult to do, and so difficult to do when IG can kill Roshan that quickly. So back up, defend inside the base, check for your buyback. So 3 heroes who have it on cooldown, which is the OD, Legion, and Coddle.
Jug almost has his. He's 500 short, and also close to the level 25, which could make a bit of a difference for the next fight. Whether you're getting...
Yeah, I'm about to say, he needs to buy a TP scroll.
He's fine. Not sure if they have any tomes left or anytime soon to get him that level 25. He gets recalled as well, so they've got plenty of ways to transport him back.
And with the Illuminate spam.
Pretty annoying.
Just almost nothing. It's OP. Look at that, just range. They know they have to fight. That's both Blade Mail and Press the Attack being used by Rappy. He's not ready to fight. The OD starts stealing a little bit of intelligence, but he keeps missing on his hits as well. That's not helping him out. So OP rips through the racks. Your Mass Serpent wards are up and running. No Radiant Creep Wave to speak of, so you should be able to get a good Omni Slash out. And now Mass Serpent wards are there. Shackles to follow up. Rappy blinks forward, goes for the duel on the Ursa Warrior. Before he got the enrage off, before he can get the cheese, Willem, yes he does! The Ursa will fall, and they all go down so low. The OD ulti has done some work with a little bit more attack. XXS will also fall. Defensive imprisonment, but the Shadow Fiend controlled up perfectly by CG. OP is so low, 150 life. They don't want to just kill him off. Not the start. That achieves absolutely nothing. Then now the cheese triggered off by the Night Stalker, deep inside the base, shackled up again. He can't fly himself out. This one, the Night Stalker will die as well. OP is leaving, and CG defend the top racks.
That was some incredible ballsy decision making from the Legion to just go on the Ursa. Just knows that we've got to do something risky, something that's going to be low percentage play, and just hope it works. And it pays off massively there. The Omni Slash instantly follows up the Jewel. They bring down Burning before he can ulti, before he can cheese, before he can BKB. He doesn't get anything off. And they also just delayed SF killing that melee Rax. While they were going on Burning, SF tried to keep bringing down that melee Rax, but he's being kited by the Shadow Shaman Hex. The Blinding Light mischance is completely screwing him over. He just couldn't finish off the buildings because of that.
And that is not the fight that Invictus Gaming were looking for. They've still got money to spare. Like, you're sitting, like, you lose 1,000 gold worth of net worth advantage. So you come back closer towards the 20k mark. But you still have 20,000. Okay, now it actually... Okay, this graph is lying to me when I see, like, 18, 19k up there and 20k up there. Something is not right. Either way, advantage is still the way of Invictus Gaming. Like, the numbers don't add up.
Maybe it's just not updated on the graph.
On the graph yet? Yeah, maybe. Oh wait, bottom lane. Gabby's going to help push it out. Mel. Okay. He's starting to lose some of that wonderful intelligence that he stole before, but 33 seconds till the Ursa Warrior can come back to life again.
Mel's looking a lot scary now. He hits level 25, gets that double duration on the insta-steal. Or a bit less than double, but close to double duration insta-steal, and has Lincolns, has an MKB queued up. He's looking like a much scarier late game force.
Yep. Unfortunately for them, they don't have a frontline tank for this. So Gabby is the one they used Press the Attack on, but he took so much damage so quickly, they already have to retreat.
Let's say surprising to see him go for a Butterfly. He picked up the Talisman already, and he's instantly changed. He picked up the Talisman on the Jug. He's now like, that's not going to work. SF has MKB, and he now queues up Basher Abyssal instead. So I think he's going to be kind of like, oh, that was a bit of a waste of money getting this Talisman, and suggesting the Butterfly, which he was previously in his quick buy, but not the end of the world.
How much money does he actually lose from this?
I'll lose, what, 700, half the price from the Talisman by buying it and selling it, assuming he does that. Or 725.
If Anna feels he's going to switch out face boots, probably not.
He probably wants to sell to make sure he has buyback. And the battery is going to... There we go.
Yeah, he just did it.
It's a bit under buyback, but not the end of the world. A little bit of gloss. I mean, it kind of matters. Every bit of gold counts at this stage when you're behind, but I don't think that's going to be a deciding factor at this point.
Invictus Gaming are ready to come up the mid. I don't know if they're going to find the exact opening they're hoping for. Burning is looking for it. That Blink Abyssal, he knows he could just melt somebody down. But they've got no vision inside the base. Thanks to that Gem of Crystal Maiden, which is in the hands of the Keeper of the Light. Invictus Gaming just can't keep any aggressive vision up.
Yep.
Like, this is their only aggressive ward, which is freshly planted on the southern lane.
Keeper getting nags. That'd be like a nice little difference for this late game, having that perma ulti form.
Yeah, even if you don't have the vision all the time because of darkness.
Yeah, being able just to use recalls and blinding lights at nighttime is always nice, and being without having to have your ultimate up, it's not 100% uptime.
Oh, he's trying to get there.
Yep.
Bit by bit. Just needs an extra, what is that? 800-ish?
Yeah. So Shaman, Ags, Force Staff has a lot of damage up with those Serpent Wards. Getting the split shot on the Serpent Wards, as well as the increased attack range on them.
I still love to see what he does, because he got a really long duration shackle off of that top defense.
Oh yeah.
So just thinking that he'll go for the extra ward, feeling pressured to push.
It's hard to say because the Ag Scepter means like there's more synergy getting the extra Serpent Wards because you've got the Ag Scepter, but you may just want the control for the SF.
IG.
Oh, nice.
The Nightmare is out. You've already gone into the Ghost form, so fly solo. Mana Leaks onto Bobica. Lotus Orbs to Purges. They can keep the chase going. Keeper of the Light's a long way away from the rest of his team, but they won't know where he is. It's Bombax who's in the real trouble. Abyssal Blade stuns him up, and they've got enough magical damage to pierce through the Ghost Scepter. And no buyback available for the Shadow Shaman because he spent that money on the Ags.
That's kind of okay for Clutch, though. It's one of their less important heroes getting picked off. The lanes are in a pretty good position at bottom and top, so if IG want to go for a lane of Rex, they have to go through mid to top, but that's a risky way to approach a push.
And Jugs pushed this top lane out a very long way. He's going to reveal himself for a quick moment. Now, recall is a beautiful thing. I'm like, he doesn't have a TP scroll. Wait, he has a Keeper of the Light.
It's actually so nice having that extra item slot where you don't have to have a Boots of Travel. Because a Boots of Travel for a Jug would mean that's like 2k gold that could go towards your Abyssal Blade or something that may need to be saved for your buyback. So being able to not have to buy a TP scroll is fantastic.
CG really need to give a little bit more farm to fly solo, however. Like, he needs to have that Aghanim Scepter up. If you're really going to rely on the recall to get your lanes to work for you, then he needs to have the Ags.
Then you've got Armel saying in his ear, give me this farm. I'm close to Hex, you know. It's always hard. There's always a trade-off somewhere. Every hero is like, I'm close to this key item, let me farm. Rappy's like, guys, I'm 500 for my Shadow Blade, let me farm.
Everyone needs critical items. He did go for the +4 summon woods, so he didn't go for the shackles.
Probably feeling that he'll always have some hero, like Nightstalker ruins any spells usage of his, whereas you know you're going to drop the Serpent Wards, then doesn't matter if you get silenced, disabled after that. The last fight where the top high ground push happened, the extra shackles would have been nice because he was kind of like 1v1 with the SF, disabling him, but that's maybe a rare case is how he looks at that.
Coddle's got the money. He buys out for it, so the Aghanim Scepter. Permanent Ghost form is up. Let the Blinding Lights fly.
Yeah, the Blinding Light's great for defending your building since MKB does not work on them.
IG still waiting for Roshan.
They need a third cheese on burning. He's a hungry man.
How many have actually... They don't have any left, do they? It's just
two.
It's the one on Ursa?
They got two on Ursa. He's stacking them.
Wait, he's actually stacking?
Yeah, well, that's the way they want the third cheese, you know?
Yeah, 40-second cooldown, man.
Yeah, you're not using more than one to fight, but... that was maybe an accident stacking them. It's definitely better to typically have them on two different heroes. Even if your Ursa uses one and then it gets pulled the next one for the follow-up fight, but... For any given fight, they're better off being split, but...
I can understand SF not having it. Like, he doesn't... I don't know if he's really going to give up his treads.
Yeah.
But he's got the Satanic... Like, we've got Rapier build right here. Satanic Butterfly as well as BKB. The classic Rapier.
even like Nightstalker doesn't have room for it. He doesn't have room for his TP scroll. He's keeping that in his backpack, so got to kind of... And you get to this point where Clockwork perhaps could hold it, but there's a few heroes who can really utilize it.
bo3 hovering around.
Yep. Trying to find any hero's vision he can, see if there's any wards there. Chomp down on, but... Case?
I love how much money Q must have had in this game. We talk about him not going hand to Midas. He's almost level 25. But both the gems on the field belong to him.
Yeah. Now you got the GPM talent you mentioned too, so that's a big reason why.
Yep. XXS keeping the vision up now. They will see Fly Solo as well as Gabby. Roshan will not spawn us almost again a maximum spawn time, but bo3 looking for his opening. He'll fall down inside the tree line. Now CG have no idea about this. It's a 5-on-5 ball, but who gets close? 100 of the Night still on cooldown for 2 more seconds. Illuminate spam. They actually got the vision from that. With the Mass Seven Wars down, the duel is out. And will they kill off Burning once again? No, this time he'll get his BKB up, as well as triggering up the first wave of cheats. You lost your Legion, you lost your Shaman. Manaleek will try and control up OP, but Burning back into the fight. Doesn't get the bash onto the Keeper of the Light, but Q just jumps in. He can just let it go if he wants to. Keeper of the Light, okay, he'll just do it for style points. Connor was already dead, and Gabby is making his run out of the bottom lane. bo3 hot on his tail. You got another hook shot available from the Clockwork, and that'll catch out the Juggernaut. The Cogs to make sure he gets pushed back even further. Almost no mana. Frost it up. And this may be the final nail in the coffin. Only OD survives. You do have 2 buybacks available, but this will be a hard defense for CG.
Very, very difficult. Shaman, I was curious how much damage. He gets 5.2k damage with those Serpent Wards. Problem is, it's spread out. It's not really killing anyone. They don't actually focus their efforts on one target like they did at top with the dual Omni Slash on the Ursa. They have to get an initiation where they focus and burst one target down. They can't just have these Serpent Wards splitting all over the place. They need to focus one hero.
Top lane pressure's coming in. They got no creep wave there, but when you kill off the OD, almost able to do it. It's Burning again, committing the BKB as well as Abyssal Blade, and they're on the run out.
I guess now makes life very difficult, not impossible for Clutch gamers now. They're not really prepared for this. OD is not a hero that likes to be versing Mega Creeps. Jug can be with the right items, but we do not see the Battle Fury, the Mjolnir, on this Juggernaut.
So Roshan's going to fall. There's a double damage rune that Shadow Fiend can take shortly after killing off Roshan. And they can just push this. They're actually going to give the Aegis the Immortal to OP. He'll have to use his Butterfly for the extra movement speed.
So you get pretty fast. 425 with the Flutter, but not too phased about being able to move around in the fight. He'll hit whatever's in range. If it's just a tower, so be it. That's how you win the game. If it's a hero, great. That'll also win you the game.
Yeah. And if he dies, you got Aegis the Immortal. He's got 7.5k gold. Hookshot, it connects, and Shaman, no! He doesn't deserve that. However, Cogs push, no, the Void will reach him. Gemma True Sight was lost. Fly Solo was going to be able to pick it up. But now 70 seconds without the Shaman. They've lost their Hex, they've lost their Shackle, they've lost the Disable. Hookshot, barely missing. The Burning won't. Goes onto him. Defensive imprisonment, they broke him free to start with. With the press, the attack and Fly Solo, quick 4-star, but the damage from the SF is just ridiculous. You've lost both of your supports. The OD's almost going to go down, and if IG want to, they can dive the Fountain at this point. That Fountain is gone. The Ancient is dead. This is the game 1 going the way of Invictus Gaming.
Yeah. And from start to finish, they were the team with the substantial lead. There was a few glimmers of hope from Clutch Gamers, a really nice hold in the top lane, but from the big picture, they just weren't keeping up. They were giving IG Roche after Roche,